This is the Vewior blender. It's a very powerful blender. You'll notice the design probably looks somewhat familiar to you if you have used the Vitamix blender. This has all of the power and then some of the Vitamix blender, but it does not come with the same price tag as the Vitamix blender. This is a fantastic, cheaper alternative. Okay, so I just took everything out of the box. Let's have a quick look at some of what you get. So you got the main blender unit. You do get this, it looks like it's just a cup, like there's no blender attachment, so you can use this just for storage or drinking. The manual doesn't have any recipes or anything like that. It's just your basic information. The jar is nice and big. I like that. So I got the lid on, and then you can unscrew the top, and then it does have a tamper. So the tamper doesn't go as close to the blades as I would like. It's about an inch up from the top of the blade. There is some space. I'm sure it will work, but I like it when the tamper gets a little bit closer so you can do it extra thick. If we look at this part, this plastic covering does come off. So if you need to clean under that, you can take that off. It has a pulse button, so off, and then you can press and hold just to pulse. Then you've got your on-off switch. It has a manual timer, so it can go up to 5 minutes, and it's just kind of a clicky timer. And then you can just manually set your speed like that. If we look in at the blades, it's just a single blade on top, a single blade on bottom. And it does look like this part can be removed if you need to take that apart to clean. Okay, I have it plugged in. I've got some soap and water before I use it for the first time. Let's see, can I even turn it on? Yeah, I don't think it will turn on unless the jar is on. So let's go ahead and put the jar on. It beeps, lets you know that it's on. Put the lid on. We're on the lowest speed. So we can turn that off. We can do pulse. So it looks like when you press and hold pulse, it does go up to the highest. One of the first things I like to do when I try out a new blender is I grind my own wheat. I wanted to see how well that would work in this blender, and I've got to say it actually worked out really, really well. It has a lot of power. It ground the wheat to be a very fine flour. I made whole wheat pancakes with it. It ended up tasting great. So I'm very happy with how well this grinds wheat. The other thing I like to do with blenders, which most people use blenders for, is simply just making smoothies. I like my smoothies to be extra thick, so I like having a tamper. This has a great tamper, and this also has enough power that it can really get your smoothie to be super thick, almost like a soft serve ice cream consistency. This blender was sent to me so I could make this video. As far as the power is concerned, I'm really happy with how well this works. The controls I like because they're so simple and straightforward. You just got a low to high. You can just turn the knob for what you want, or you can do the pulse, and then it's got a simple analog timer. So it doesn't do any smart or special features where it speeds up and slows down. You do have to do everything manual, but that's how I do things anyway, so that's not a big deal for me. The main thing that I'm really not sure of if I like with this is you'll notice that the jar is quite narrow. I still don't know how I feel about that. In one way, I think it's good because it pushes things up a little bit faster and higher before it falls down, so that's a good thing. But I also feel like it doesn't mix quite as well as the wider jars. Now that could be just the things I've used this with, and it's not a huge deal anyway because it does have a tamper, so anything that you're struggling to get mixed, you can just use that tamper to help you get things mixed together. If you're looking for a very powerful blender but you don't want to spend as much money for some of the bigger name brands, I think this is a really great option. Thanks for watching.